As Conan O'Brien mulls his decision to stay on as host of NBC's The Tonight Show, comes word from Simon Cowell that he is leaving American Idol at the end of the season. Here's NBC's George Lewis.
So, will Conan O'Brien stay at NBC or jump ship? Reportedly, his people have been talking to the folks at Fox.
Everybody now wants to know what my plans are. Everyone's asking me. All I can say is I plan to continue putting on a great show night after night while stealing as many office supplies as humanly possible.
Jay Leno, who appears headed back to O'Brien's time slot, also has plenty of new material at NBC's expense.
See, nobody knows it. Now, supposing we were moving to 11:30, but even this is not sure. See, my people are upset, Conan's people are upset. Hey, NBC said they wanted drama at 10. Now they got it.
And most of the drama revolves around whether O'Brien will accept the idea of following Leno once again, coming on at 12:05 after a half-hour version of Leno's show.
When you've got personalities of this magnitude saying they're heading elsewhere, that means big upheaval.
And the big upheaval at Fox centers on Simon Cowell, the American Idol judge everyone loves to hate.
It was a little bit over-theatrical.
Monday, Cowell announced he's leaving at the end of this season to start a new Fox reality series, The X Factor. The British version of the show, another talent contest, is a mega hit. The big question surrounding American Idol is whether it will do as well next year without Simon.
He's irreplaceable. We can't replace him. So we're just hoping to keep it active and energetic.
The newest American Idol judge, Ellen DeGeneres, weighs in on Cowell's departure on her show airing later today.
Seriously, I'm going to be very, very sad to see him go because I think he has made the show what it is. But he wanted a change, and I wish him all the luck in the world hosting The Tonight Show.
For today, George Lewis, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Janice Min is the former editor of Us Weekly. Sharon Waxman is editor-in-chief of TheWrap.com, a website about the entertainment industry. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Janice, if I can start with you.
Good
So
morning.
many questions swirling around right now, beginning with what happens to Conan. He knows he's losing this slot at 11:35, maybe goes to 12:05, maybe to 12:30. We don't even know yet what it's going to be.
Right. I mean, he doesn't know. I mean, let's first of all, I think no one should feel too sorry for Conan O'Brien. You know, the numbers being thrown around right now are pretty huge that NBC could pay a penalty up to $45 million if he walks from the network. Fox is possibly courting him. I mean, I think the thing with Conan is he has to find the right audience for him. To me, I don't think 11:35 is the right audience for him. This is a guy who has really kooky skits on that are not mainstream. You know, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, the masturbating bear. I mean, these are things that mass America is not necessarily
maybe not ready for.
Yes.
Sharon, let me ask you, what are Conan's options realistically? I mean, the late night landscape is pretty limited.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's only a few of these jobs. There's a limited number of opportunities. I mean, you sit around and you wait for years and years, as Conan has been doing, to get this slot at 11:30. And the reality really is that unless he can get another job offer from Fox, he's going to pretty much have to take that 12 o'clock slot and wait for Jay Leno to want to retire in a few years.
Well, what are your sources telling you?
What's going to happen?
Yeah, what are your sources telling you about this jump to Fox as a possibility?
There's talk going on, but Fox is being very cagey about it. They're being very, they're negotiating. They're in negotiations, and so I don't think we're going to know. In fact, there was a lot of noise going on yesterday. Oh, there's going to be an announcement from Fox coming out of the Television Critics Press Tour, which happens twice a year, and there's all the news coming out, and everybody was thinking, oh, it's going to be Conan. Nope, it wasn't Conan. So that was the Simon Cowell news that came out yesterday. So we're negotiations, but in fact, if he can't get that offer from Fox, his options are going to be extremely limited.
And there's also, I want to talk about Simon Cowell, but there's also a question about Jay Leno, Janice, and whether he can regain the audience that he lost when he went to primetime.
I mean, the interesting thing, he was golden. He was sort of untouchable before this switch happened, and now, I mean, it's been a drumbeat of negative press for 6 months, that he's not funny, the show's not good. And really, interestingly, this whole drama has given him the biggest sort of edge that he's had in months. He was funny last night. It was timely. I think the audience will come back to him at 11:35. I think that audience that watches that is much more passive than the audience at 10 o'clock. They just want someone amiable in the room with them. At 10 o'clock, I think the expectation is for real entertainment, something very engrossing that you can actually sit down and watch actively.
Well, one person who is happy in all these changes is Simon Cowell. He wants to develop X Factor, obviously, for Fox for next season. He's glad to be leaving American Idol. It's the right time for him. But what do you think is going to happen to Idol? Who's going to replace this? Who could replace this guy?
I think the worst thing Fox could do is to try to go cast another funny, mean guy. I mean, I think that would be a huge mistake. Whoever they cast would just pale in comparison to Simon. The thing is, Simon is sort of the heart of the show. For people who might think the show's a little silly, they like his edge. He clearly, he's the one who all the other judges riff off of. They're going to have a hard time. I think what they'll have to do, especially with the loss of Paula also, they need to just rethink the whole judge format altogether.
Sharon, do you think that Paula Abdul will end up on X Factor with Simon Cowell?
I do. Simon Cowell made a mention of it yesterday, talked about how much he adores Paula and hints that they're going to be working together soon. And how powerful would that be to launch a show knowing that you've got the Simon and Paula a reunion going on where they can snipe at each other yet again, on a contest show. Because that really was half the fun of American Idol. I would say about one half of the fun was Simon Cowell insulting the contestants, and the other half of the fun, apart from the singing, was Paula and Simon insulting one another. So, I mean, you get to see that on another show. I do think that, however, it's going to be hard for Idol to recover from that. Losing Paula and Simon, even with the injection of energy of Ellen DeGeneres, she's going to have a big job ahead of her to kind of make that show, give it her own edge and give it its own, make herself a real character on that show, because the judges are the characters on the show even more than the contestants.
Well, it all makes for great conversation. Janice Min and Sharon Waxman, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.